Hi, I'm Tim Goddard, and I'm a candidate for re-election as a town moderator in the town election on Saturday, May the 6th. I was first elected moderator in 2007, having served a year previously in a temporary capacity when moderator Charlie Kay passed away, and I've since been re-elected 13 times. I am currently running for re-election to my second three-year term on the board. The prime function of the moderator is obviously to conduct the town meeting, to maintain order, and to declare the result of town meeting votes. The voters have the right to expect that the moderator will do so in an even-handed, impartial manner. And I think over the years I've developed a reputation of being a firm but fair moderator, and the voters have been kind enough to return me to office ever since. Additionally, I'm an active member of the Mass Moderators Association, and I've served on their board of directors for several years. I also believe that my 37 years in local government are an asset to me as moderator, an asset to the town, frankly, and it's been my privilege to serve the town in this capacity, and I hope that I'll continue to do so for many years to come. Recently, at a special town meeting in February, the issue of ballot voting became somewhat problematic. If you were at that town meeting, you know what I'm referring to. But we feel we've identified a possible solution, and that is electronic voting. For those that don't know, electronic voting's been around for several years, and very simply stated, voters are handed a small handheld device when they check in at the meeting. It's much like a TV remote, and they use that to vote during the meeting, and they can vote yes or no anonymously to all of the questions before a town meeting, instead of using the more cumbersome process of ballot voting, where you have to stand on a line to recheck in, and you cast a paper ballot. Those paper ballots have to be counted by hand by the town clerk and their staff, and it's a very cumbersome and a time-consuming process. When we first looked at electronic voting a number of years ago, it was a brand new technology. It was prohibitively expensive, and it was in use in very few communities, so there wasn't much of a track record to go on. In the intervening years, it's become much more common. The cost has come down. It's relatively inexpensive now. Many communities use it, and the feedback from those communities is very positive. There'll be an article on the town meeting warrant in May, I believe it's Article 20, that will ask for your support for the town to investigate electronic voting for use at town meeting. And I hope that you'll give it your strong consideration. Finally, I respectfully ask for your vote as town moderator at the town election on Saturday, May the 6th. Thank you.
Greetings, Littleton. My name is Cindy Napoli, and I'm excited to be running for re-election to the Littleton Select Board. As a lifelong resident and dedicated public servant, I am looking forward to continuing my work for the residents as a member of the Littleton Select Board. My husband is also a lifelong resident, and we both graduated from Littleton High School. We have 3 amazing children and a dog named Bosco. My parents live in Littleton, as do my in-laws. They are all retired, and my parents both operated successful businesses in Littleton for many years. I am also a graduate of Mount Ida College, and I have worked as a paralegal for over 30 years. I bring to the board many attributes, including the ability to bring people together for a common cause, a policy-driven approach, institutional knowledge, and an appreciation for the history of Littleton and its traditions. When I first ran for the Select Board, my motivation was simple. I wanted to give back to the community I know and love. Prior to being elected to the Select Board, I was involved in youth sports, coaching my daughter's softball team and serving as Director of Fundraising for Littleton Youth Lacrosse and the Littleton Athletic Booster Association. I also advocated for the renovation of Alumni Field with a series of videos interviewing Littleton athletes, young and old, about life lessons learned through sports and athletics in Littleton. Since being elected to the board, I have brought forward initiatives to support our veterans and senior citizens, enhance public safety, and modernize our town government. My proudest achievements include spearheading the renovations of the Edgar P. Romley Veterans Corner and the World War I Monument, co-founding the Littleton Coalition Against Addiction, creating a series on LCTV called Stop the Stigma, Start a Conversation, providing individuals with a platform to share their personal triumphs overcoming addiction, helping develop the Littleton Affordable Housing Trust and the Center on Shattuck Street. In addition to serving on the board, I am also a member of the Littleton Affordable Housing Trust, the Master Plan Implementation Committee, and the Nagog Hill Orchard Working Group. Littleton is one of the few communities in Massachusetts that has a master plan. This document serves as a resource when planning for the future of Littleton. Building a new library, preserving open space with the acquisition of the Brown property, and promoting economic growth and improving public health with sewer in the common area will fulfill some of the goals of the master plan. I feel that Littleton is now at a crossroads. We are struggling to find balance between retaining the character of Littleton while allowing the growth needed to ensure Littleton remains resilient and can provide the services we want and need for our community. As a town leader, I recognize finding this balance is difficult and will require a collaborative approach. Looking to the future, I will use my town government experience, established working relationships, and institutional knowledge to address not only the concerns of all residents, but drive important initiatives to improve our community as a whole. Knowledge is power and communication is key, and the creation of a newsletter for Littleton is one of my top priorities. It is clear that a digest of information about town news, events, and programs is something our community is lacking and residents want. On March 13th, I presented to the Select Board a plan to create a town newsletter based on a proven model adopted by the town of Lexington and the town of Needham. The first step in this process will be conducting a communication survey, and I have already begun working on this initiative. There is such a thing as free money, and every year the state offers a variety of grant opportunities for municipalities. When planning the renovation of the Edgar P. Romney Veterans Corner, I wrote an application for the Veterans Heritage Grant offered through the Massachusetts State Historical Records Advisory Board. The town was awarded $15,000, which helped offset the cost for that project, which is also paid for with fundraising by the Friends of Littleton Veterans and private donations. The town has received funding through other grant opportunities thanks to the hard work and diligence of our dedicated staff. If re-elected, I will advocate to create a permanent position for a grant writer. Every year, the state offers hundreds of grant programs, and having an employee dedicated specifically to this task is a worthwhile investment for Littleton. Finally, as many of you already know, the Select Board recently made a difficult decision and voted unanimously not to extend the contract of our town administrator. Ryan Ferreira has been appointed interim town administrator, and he is doing a seamless job taking on that role. The process to search for a new town administrator is statutory, and the Select Board should begin that process in the near future. Over the past year, I undertook the important task of updating the Select Board regulations and policies, as well as portions of the town code. Going forward, I plan to continue this project, focusing first on the Select Board's administrative policies and procedures. The objective is to establish unified approaches and protocols to improve working relationships and ensure the board, staff, and our administration are successful with a collaborative and cohesive approach. In conclusion, I would like to thank everyone for your support and words of encouragement during my time on the Select Board. Serving on the Select Board is work that I enjoy, and it has been rewarding on many levels. I am very proud of what I have achieved for Littleton. I am asking for your vote May 6th so I can work to ensure Littleton continues to thrive, is a place for everyone to have a voice, and enjoy all the great things that Littleton has to offer. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Matthew Nordhaus, chair of the Littleton Select Board, and I'm running for re-election. My wife and I have lived in Littleton for 23 years, and we raised our family here. We believe serving Littleton is everyone's responsibility. We've been scouts, trash picker-uppers, school council members, community Thanksgiving chefs, laborers for the Council of Churches, and community farmers. Professionally, I'm an engineer and a project director. I lead large teams around the world and manage finances for multi-year, multi-million-dollar projects. I bring real-world management experience to the Select Board. Setting budget priorities in collaboration with all town departments is an important part of the job. I've served on the Select Board for 3 years now. I'm on the Littleton Housing Authority and Affordable Housing Trust boards, the Sewer and Orchard working groups, and I was the Select Board liaison to the Council on Aging for 2 years. I also volunteer on the Littleton Trail Crew. I'm not going to sit here and tell you I have all the solutions for the challenges facing Littleton because I don't. Solutions only come from bringing experts like our staff, board, and committee members into the room, hearing all perspectives, and working together towards a common goal. I've learned firsthand that Littleton needs elected officials who know how to run a business, who listen instead of shouting, who collaborate instead of making demands, who treat our employees and the public with respect, and who, above all, hear every side of an issue before making decisions on your behalf. My goal is to continue serving Littleton by sharing my independent, open approach to town government and remaining a voice of reason on the Select Board. We don't have to agree on the issues, and I say this a lot. I need to hear from people who disagree with me, because my job is to listen and to make fiscally responsible decisions that reflect your needs. For more about my thoughts on the issues facing Littleton, visit my website at nordfortheboard.com or email me. You can find my email right on the town website. Because no matter where you stand on the issues, I want to hear from you. I'll see you at the polls on May 6th, and I hope I can count on your vote. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Karen Morrison, and I am running to represent you on the Select Board here in Littleton. I'm a homeowner, a lawyer, a small business owner with decades of experience in public contracts, and my husband and I are raising our 3 school-age kids in our public schools. My professional background begins in law school, where I focused on government law. After a couple years as a practicing lawyer, I began to work in government contracts. As a small business owner, I now advise other small businesses on how to navigate the ethics and compliance requirements of being a federal contractor. In my work, I advise my clients on how to handle complex issues. My expertise in government contracts and government purchasing and analyzing multifaceted situations are valuable skills I will bring to the Select Board. I'm running because I think it's important that we introduce a fresh perspective to the Select Board. It's important that the board includes the voices of both long-term residents and new residents, people like me and my husband Jody, who chose to make this community our home. Just like you, we are proud to live in Littleton. As a person who has lived in various locales, I've seen some different solutions and lessons learned that we can apply to challenges that Littleton is facing. As a Select Board member, I will bring these life experiences to our town government. I want you to know that I will be the only member on the Select Board with children in our schools come next school year. One of the reasons I am so passionate about making sure our town is a wonderful place to live, not just today, but for many years to come, is that I'm raising my children here, and our schools are an economic driver for our community that make up a large part of our town budget. Understanding the experience of working parents is an important perspective that I will represent on the board. All of these perspectives are important to have on the Select Board, and just as important as the fresh perspective I will bring to the board is my approach to disagreement. It's critical to our success as a town that our Select Board members listen to other perspectives, build on common ground, and foster productive, goal-oriented discussion. In short, we need to collaborate. I feel strongly that we need leaders on the Select Board who will work collaboratively and foster communication in several areas. With other committees and commissions, decision-making is widely dispersed in our town, and that's a good thing. But it means we have to be careful of operating in silos. My positive relationships in town, including my endorsement by George Sanders, are a testament to my ability to foster the communication that's necessary to overcome that challenge. Communication with residents of the town. As a resident myself, I know firsthand how difficult it is to stay on top of the goings-on in our town government, and I have practical ideas for bridging the communications gap. I've met with the faculty advisor to the high school press club to discuss a pilot program for our students in the press club to cover select board hearings and to expand on written agendas. And recent innovations in software could allow us to leverage technology to summarize the posted videos of meetings not covered by our press club. Our select board members need to be partners with our elected officials in state government so we can take advantage of programs the new administration is offering. There are opportunities for funding and support, and I will work with our state representatives to bring that support to bear for our priorities in Littleton. I also look forward to collaborating with businesses located in our town and supporting the expansion of our commercial tax base. As a small business owner myself, I understand how local government can foster a culture of support and create a thriving local economy. I want to put my unique leadership traits in service to you. What I offer is a blend of pragmatism and idealism. I have a level head, and I approach disagreement with objectivity after many years' experience in analyzing and weighing competing objectives and finding the best path forward for my clients or employers. And I will start on day one with a clean slate of relationships so I can get to work for you. The election for Select Board is Saturday, May 6th at the middle school, and you can cast your vote for 2 candidates. I would be honored to have your support. I ask you to vote for me, Karen Morrison, on Election Day, so I can serve all Littletonians with respect and long-term vision. Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Gino Ferraroni with 2 T and 2 L. Okay, the reason I'm here is because in May is an election. I am on the Board of Health. And we have a nice members. We are 5 members at the Board of Health. And we are friendly with each other, and we're trying to do the best we can to help the situation. Many people, individual come when they have a problem, so we guide them to the best way we can. And sometimes we leave, sometimes they have a little problem, we try to help them. Nevertheless, and then company will come and we guide them, and we do the best we can according to the regulation, and the state participate has to be by the state and also by the town. And I like to participate with my group, and because we work together. And it's very, very simple. I mean, I'm not here to preach. I'm only asking for your votes. If you be kind enough to vote for Gino, I appreciate it. And if I leave it up to you. If you have a friend that is new in Littleton, we have to realize that the number of the people in Littleton is increasing each year. So we almost over 10,000 people. And just to give you an idea. A lot of people are selling their home, or they have a problem with the septic system. They come to us, and we're trying to guide them the best way we can. That is it. I mean, if you care about the town, and just remember, we have 5 members in the board, and each one of them has a knowledge that to guide the individual or the engineer. And that's what we're here for, to help out. We are volunteer, and I've been doing this for over, I can't tell you how many years, but anyway, many, many years. And that's it. I just wanted to say thank you, and I hope you, God bless. And now we are approaching the Easter. Don't forget to go to church. And appreciate what you have. God bless you, and have a good day.
Hello, Littleton neighbors. I'm Anna Hueston, and I'm asking for your vote on Saturday, May 6th to re-elect me to the Planning Board. I'd like to share a little bit about myself and the Planning Board, current development plans in town, communication, and why I'm qualified to serve again and earn your vote. Littleton is my second hometown. I grew up outside of Denver in a small blue-collar community where we had a homecoming parade, traveling fairs at my local church, and many trains running through town. 7 years ago, when folks at Knox Realty helped us find a place to live in Littleton, they were very welcoming, and I knew this would be a place where I would want to stay. I've enjoyed being a part of the community and contributing my time, which began on the Master Plan Steering Committee shortly after arriving. I have served on the Littleton Planning Board for the last 5 years. We are an elected board of 5 residents, meeting over 20 times per year. The Planning Board has a lot of responsibility, and our work includes drafting or amending zoning bylaws, such as the Village Common District Form-Based Code, and for housing. The Planning Board also reviews applications for commercial and residential development in Littleton. I ask a lot of questions during the application process because I want to make sure applicants follow our bylaws and that their development projects align with the town's master plan. Regarding development, some residents are looking forward to it. Some have no comments, and some have concerns about too much development, traffic, and taxes. These are big topics, so I'd like to use this time to explain the status of development plans in town and their positive aspects, which is why I support them. I'll show a graphic depicting the developments and how they are connected. Let's start on the lower right side of the screen, moving counterclockwise. First, Northern Bank's project on Great Road is underway. This project took 2 years for the Planning Board to approve, as there were many concerns that the developer needed to address during the application process. The positive aspect of this first project to revitalize the Common is that the look will resemble our New England farmhouse design, which residents requested during the charrettes. Second, moving upward in the graphic, we have King Street Common at the former IBM site, which is a planned project that includes the current mill site across Great Road. This project will take up to 10 years to build out. The next steps in this project include finalizing sewer plans with the developer, Lupoli Companies, receiving their phasing plan as to what will get built first, site plans for that first phase, and the traffic studies. Once the traffic studies are received, there will be public hearings to provide your input, and I urge you to do so. While taxes are not under the purview of the Planning Board, what I can say is that the town has data showing positive financial benefits even after accounting for the impact on town services. The data is from the developer, and efforts are underway to confirm those figures so that we're all on the same page, and if it's correct, it will mean millions of dollars in new revenue for Littleton. Finally, the train station area, which is a continuing project for the Planning Board. Littleton is complying with the MBTA Communities Law to create a zoning district near the train station where multifamily housing units can be allowed. Remember, zoning allows for them to be built. It isn't a development plan. 750 is the number Littleton is required to zone for, which I agree would be a lot of houses by the train station. Instead, Littleton can use 600 of the units from the King Street Common project to count toward the 750. That leaves 150 that Littleton needs to zone near the train station. This is a positive benefit of building the number of units approved at King Street Common, because it means we can zone for a lot less at the train station, and we get 10% affordable units for folks on housing wait lists that include Littleton residents. The other positive of King Street Common is that Lupoli Companies will be providing a transportation connection to and from the train station at its own expense. The next steps for the train station are to acquire more public input before a proposed bylaw goes to a future town meeting. Again, please make sure to provide your input in this process. Communication is critical so that residents are well informed, and I recognize that it can be tough to keep apprised of the ongoing projects. To try and help with that, if elected, I will hold regular coffee hours on weekends to talk with residents about questions. Additionally, based on feedback from residents, we're working on placing project information in town meetings so it is more readily seen by residents. Stay in touch with me. Let's have coffee. My planning board email address is anna4lpb@gmail.com. I am qualified to serve on your planning board for another 5 years based on my experience of doing the work, holding applicants accountable, and staying the course to what the residents want accomplished from the master plan. I ask for your vote on May 6th. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Ed Fultz. I've been a resident of Littleton for greater than 30 years. My wife and her family for greater than 58 years. Together, we have raised 2 wonderful children. Contributions to our community include Boy Scouts, 4-H, and I have coached as a volunteer for many of our Littleton sports teams. Over those years, we've had the benefit of good schools, open space for my children to raise animals, a common bond with our fellow town residents. I'm running for planning board because I'm concerned. I'm concerned that there's not enough priority being given to keeping Littleton, the small farming community that it is, and what many of us want it to remain. I hear much discussion about how Littleton needs to grow. Grow or die, I hear quite often. However, what I don't hear is the voice of those of us that don't want unlimited growth. Don't get me wrong, I'm not against development. I'm against unrestricted development. Over the years, we have worked to get Littleton above the state threshold for affordable housing so that we could maintain control of development here in Littleton. Despite this, there seem to be some who believe we do not have any control over our development. Let's talk about some of the recent projects. The big one, the IBM building. That originally started as a small mixed-use development and has morphed into a monstrosity having greater than 700 housing units. Those people are going to need services. They're going to need police, fire. They're going to need schools. They're going to have cars putting traffic on our roads, and everyone knows what the Common is like at 5 o'clock. Then there's the building across the street, the old mill. There are many in town that would say anything we do with that property is better than what we've got now. But is it better to have greater than 200 housing units? Is Littleton really ready for 6-story buildings? Do we want Littleton to become Arlington, Somerville, or Boston? Or do we want the town to be a more suburban farming type community? We're situated at the intersection of Route 2 and 495. I'll tell you, that can be a curse and it can be a benefit. It's a benefit because we've got great commuting capabilities to many towns around us. We have good train service, so we can commute from Littleton to Boston fairly easily. In fact, I was before the COVID. But it's also a curse because all of that easy access means many people want to live here and enjoy the benefits that we enjoy. That because of that, they want lots more development. The more development we do, the less we have of our wonderful suburban community feel. There are projects coming that we need to better ensure that they fit our suburban character. There's a talk of a development over at the train station for housing. And what we need to ensure is that that development fits our suburban character. Is there really a need to allow special permits to do high density in that area? I would suggest no, there really isn't. There are those that say, however, that we can't stop that development. There are those that say we shouldn't stop that development. My opponent actually at the town meeting suggested that it was an essential project. I'm here to suggest that a project over there might be useful, but we need to be careful what we actually approve. Land is a precious commodity here in town. We all know that. We've seen it. We have it. We've worked hard to have open space. But what good is open space if we're living in a city? It is because of these concerns that I'm running for planning board. I'm here to listen to your thoughts and concerns. However, what I don't hear is the voice of the Littleton residents. My name is Ed Fultz. I'm running for planning board, and I'm asking for your vote on May 6th. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Elaine Santelmann, and I'm running for a seat on the school committee in the May 6th town election. I've lived in Littleton since 1984. My 4 children all benefited from an excellent education here. I've worked as an elementary classroom teacher for 20 years, mostly in Westford but also in Haverhill. As a science and social studies curriculum coordinator in Westford and now in Lowell, I focused on increasing student engagement using inquiry-based practices and have provided professional development to teachers and staff. My more recent work has included the middle and high school levels, so as a school committee member, I will be able to collaborate with leadership and staff across the district. I've attended all of the school committee meetings in person since January and will be ready to dive into the work upon being elected. Our schools are impressive. Our superintendent, Dr. Kelly Clenchy, has a clear vision. He has built a great leadership team and works collaboratively to set high standards and to innovate. Just at the high school, the course catalog has expanded greatly in science, computer science, and the arts since my son graduated in 2015. Dr. Clenchy also understands that students learn best when they feel safe and their needs are supported, and he's invested in our children's social and emotional health. The mission of our schools is to foster a community of critical thinkers and lifelong learners, and to prepare each student to be a successful, contributing citizen in a global society. That vision is based on a growth mindset, high expectations, and continuous teacher development. But successful schools also stem from strong partnerships. Our stakeholders all have the best interests of our children at heart. As a committee, we should encourage civil discourse, listen and respect all viewpoints. Likewise, we should consult teachers, administrators, and support staff on complicated issues that affect their success. As a school committee member, I promise to collaborate with my colleagues, administrators, and staff to ensure the best for our students. I promise to attend the state-required 8-hour orientation course for new school committee members to learn more about school finance, laws regulating the work of school committees, collective bargaining, and leadership evaluations. I promise to be prepared for each meeting. Finally, I promise to be accessible and will listen to anyone with an issue or concern before I cast a vote. Thank you to everyone who has shared their time and views about our schools in the past 3 months. I've been asked one question often: if you don't have school children in the schools, why are you running? The answer is simple: I want to give back. Littleton has been a wonderful place in which to live and raise my children. Now that they're grown, I want to share my passion for education. I'm excited for the future of Littleton Public Schools and hope to be part of it. If you would like to learn more about me, please visit my Facebook page or my website at elainesantelmann.com. I respectfully ask for one of your votes on Saturday, May 6th. Thank you.